know about the coronavirus disease in particular. We understand that people all over the world are dying every single day due to the coronavirus, but do not know how it affects our body and what happens to one when they contract it. I am going to school to become a dental hygienist. It is very important to me that I know what is going on with the coronavirus because I will be working directly over people's mouths and do not want to contract whatever they have. Today, I will be informing you about the coronavirus in specific. First, we will be talking about the virus itself. Secondly, we will be talking about the virus and how it attacks the body when one contracts it. And lastly, we will be talking about herd immunity and vaccines to stop the coronavirus. First, let's talk about the virus in specific. Back in December of 2019, the first case was discovered in Wuhan, China. Many people thought that it was a joke and underplayed it, but soon realized that people were dying left and right all over the world. Owner Ozdemir states in his article, the novel coronavirus has rapidly become widespread, resulting in an epidemic throughout China, followed by a pandemic and increasing number of cases in various countries throughout the world. Back in September of 2020, China had more than 81,552 cases all throughout China. And they are growing worldwide throughout all the different countries. The World Health Organization announced public health emergency back in January 2020 and a public pandemic in March 2020. Now that I have talked about the coronavirus disease in specific, let's move on to talking about the virus and how it attacks our body. While explaining the effects, I will also be informing you about the different causes and symptoms of coronavirus. The information comes from COVID-19 Lessons in Laboratory Medicine, Pathology, and Autopsy by Medno Production and Media. Talks about effects and symptoms. The COVID-19 is caused by severe acute respiratory system. It attacks the respiratory system. That's why you see so many people struggling to, breathe, and they have to be put on ventilators because coronavirus is deadly and it attacks your respiratory system. The current strain remains a mystery for scientists and doctors all over the world. Different doctors and, scientists that you see talking about COVID, they do not know, how to stop the spread of virus. Obviously, it's by a vaccine, but they do not know how to produce a vaccine yet, just because it remains a mystery and it is very challenging to come up with a vaccine. Symptoms include dry cough, sore throat, fever, muscle pain, chest pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and many different respiratory issues. You see people in hospitals and, they're being put on ventilators. The respiratory issues are the most common symptom you will see from the coronavirus, article states. Many different other symptoms as well. That's just a few of the symptoms that were written in this article. The disease is also caused by an infectious virus passed by humans. Many different humans contract it from one another, and it is spread throughout the whole world. Pathological findings could help diagnosis and management for coronavirus. They need to find exactly the findings to stop the spread of coronavirus. Now that we have talked about the virus and how it attacks our body when we get coronavirus, we will be talking about herd immunity and vaccines finally. According to Etchusem Ulhak, Jifeng Yu, and Jiancheng Gao, authors of Frontiers in the COVID-19 Vaccines Development, due to special nature of this novel virus, they state, vaccine development for COVID-19 seems to be very challenging. Like I said, the doctors and scientists you see writing these articles, it is very challenging to come up with a specific virus to help stop the spread of coronavirus. Many different doctors and scientists all throughout the world say that vaccines are essential to control the pandemic and stop the spreading of coronavirus. According to Salman Rauf, Harami Quezada, and David Rauf, they state that although 81% of the COVID cases are either subclinical or mild, the lack of credible treatment to deal with moderate and severe cases and the absence of a vaccine to achieve full herd immunity may lead some countries to endure repeated waves of infection. We had that first wave and it kind of stopped a little bit. Not as many people were dying, and then it hit us back in July and August, They state that 67% of the world's population will have to be vaccinated in order to stop the spread of COVID. That's over half of the world needed to be vaccinated. Now that I have informed you about COVID-19 itself, I hope you are more informed about it. First, we talked about the virus itself. Next, we talked about the virus in the body. And finally, we talked about the vaccines and herd immunity. Many people are being affected, and hopefully you are more informed in what it does to the body exactly when one contracts COVID-19.